Most bakers don't struggle because they lack talent. In fact, many of the bakers I meet are incredibly skilled, creative and passionate about what they do. What often feels missing is the support side of the business. How to price, how to sell with confidence, and how to build something that feels sustainable. I've spent more than 25 years in the cake industry. I started at the kitchen table, built my business, opened shops, supplied wholesale cakes to cafes and restaurants, scaled up to 6 figures, burnt out and eventually rebuilt in a way that felt calmer and far more profitable. In this video, I want to walk you through the method I now use when I work with bakers who want to earn properly without resentment, burnout or constantly feeling behind. I call it the sweet method. Many bakers start out because they genuinely love what they do. They enjoy creating, being a part of special moments and seeing how much people appreciate their work. Over time though, the business side can start to feel heavy. There are more inquiries, more messages and more pressure to say yes, even when something doesn't quite feel right and you don't even like the design that they want. I remember being incredibly busy yet still questioning whether the business was actually working. From the outside, it looked successful. On the inside, it felt exhausting and unsustainable. When I work with bakers now, I often hear very similar stories, not because anyone's doing anything wrong, but because no one ever really taught them how to build a business around their skill. The sweet method didn't come from theory or trends. It came from experience, both my own and experience of working closely with bakers at different stages of their journey. At its core, the method is built on one simple belief. Your cake business should support your life, not take it over. Instead of pushing harder, hustling or doing more, the focus is on clarity, confidence and intention. Doing the tasks that make the difference, not the ones you feel you should be doing. SWEET stands for selling, winning mindset, engagement, expertise and true value. Each part supports the others and together they create a business that feels steady and sustainable. Selling. Most bakers hate this bit. But selling is simply helping people to buy what they already want. My method is about how to sell without feeling salesy, so customers can say yes instead of ghosting you. In the sweet method, selling is about clarity, not convincing. You're not pushing, you're not persuading, you're offering a service and you're allowing the right people to say yes. This starts with knowing exactly who your customers are, speaking to them directly and making sure your cakes and prices and messaging actually match what they need, not what you think you should be saying. Selling also means how to handle inquiries with confidence. No panicking when you get a DM, no over-explaining, no instant discounts. Instead, you will learn how to respond to inquiries in a clear and professional way, communicate the value of your work without justifying your prices, ask the right questions to guide the conversation, set boundaries around time, availability and energy, stay warm and friendly while staying in control. When inquiries are handled properly, the conversation flows. Clients feel supported, you feel grounded. I've seen bakers go from dreading every DM to feeling calm, confident and in charge simply by changing how they respond and guide these conversations. For many, this is one of the first places where business suddenly feels lighter. Once this clicks, everything else seems to get easier. Winning mindset. Mindset quietly shapes every decision in your business. It's running the show whether you realise it or not. How confident you feel about pricing, boundaries and visibility will shape the results you get. When I work with clients, one of the biggest shifts is internal. As confidence grows, setting and sticking to your pricing starts to feel easier. Boundaries become easier to hold. Guilt begins to fade. This isn't about being fearless or suddenly turning into a different person. It's about trusting your experience and stepping into the role of a business owner with calm authority. Engagement is not about being everywhere or posting 10 times a day on Instagram. It's about attracting people who genuinely connect with your work and your values. When messaging becomes clearer, the right customers tend to find you more easily. That often leads to fewer frustrating inquiries and more aligned working relationships. I've seen bakers attract better clients without increasing the workload by simply becoming clearer about who they are and what they offer. Expertise. It's not only about skill level, it's about how you position yourself, how confidently you speak about your work. Most bakers underestimate how much experience they already have. They downplay it. How many times have you seen or even said yourself, I'm just a self-taught baker, and act like your experience doesn't count? When that expertise is communicated really clearly, trust builds naturally. This is often where clients notice a shift in how customers respond to them and the conversations start to change. True value. It brings everything together. It's about pricing fairly in a way that allows space for rest, growth and enjoyment. It's not just about surviving month to month, but building something that feels worthwhile. I've worked with bakers who have increased their income, reduced their workload, and felt more confident in their business decisions simply by aligning their prices with their true value. What makes the sweet method so powerful is how each part supports the other. Clear selling supports confidence. Confidence supports boundaries, and boundaries make pricing feel easier. When these elements align, the business feels intentional rather than reactive. When bakers work with the sweet method, the changes are rarely just practical, they're emotional too. Natalie came to me feeling stuck between the safety of a corporate 9 to 5 and the pull of building a baking business that she actually loved. She felt disorganised, unsure about pricing, overwhelmed by marketing and completely disconnected from any clear niche. Her biggest shift? She realised she didn't need to be everyone's cup of tea. By focusing on winning mindset and expertise, she began to see that who she is just as powerful as what she bakes, and that clarity changed everything. Through true value, she stopped panicking about pricing and started using my clear, simple costing system that finally made numbers feel manageable. No more guessing, no more undercharging. With engagement and selling, she grew in confidence. She showed up more consistently and learned how to communicate her value without shrinking or apologising. Along the way, she gained a clear direction and a niche that she actually loves. Practical tools that remove the stress from pricing and planning, increase confidence in selling and setting boundaries. After a particularly intense week, including a viral video, huge opportunities and a confidence knock, we work one-to-one to steady the noise, focus on the now and create her a clear plan for her next steps. Her words, not mine. Working with me was the moment she made a real investment in herself. The details vary from baker to baker, but the shift is always the same. More clarity, more confidence, more control, and a business that finally feels like it fits. If you've been listening to this and thinking, this feels familiar, that's important. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need a starting point that makes sense for your specific situation. So if you'd like to talk to me about how I can help you apply the sweet method in your own cake business, feel free to send me a message on Instagram. From there, we can look at what support would actually make a difference for you.